footwear and apparel.
The Canadian Football Network, today's game from Taylor Field in Regina, is brought to you by Petro-Canada Dealers and Agents. Our energy is Canada. And by Carling O'Keefe Breweries. The CFL is the game around here. They call them defensive players, but members of the defensive secondary contribute mightily to the BC scoring attack. Larry Crawford has returned 2 punts for touchdowns this season. He has not returned an interception for a touchdown, but everybody else in that secondary has. Mel Bird in the very first game for the Lions helped beat Saskatchewan. Keith Gooch ran down the sidelines for a touchdown with an intercepted pass. Nelson Martin has run 2 interceptions to the end zone for touchdowns, and Andre Francis has scored 6 points after picking off a pass. The BC Lions are tough because of their defense. They have not lost at BC Place Stadium, but this week around Vancouver there was some trouble, and maybe leaving Vancouver and BC Place Stadium, the Lions can encounter some problems on the road. They've lost 3 times, and this is Taylor Field, Regina. Neil, any chance the Lions could lose this one?
I don't think so. I think Don Matthews is glad to be on the road this time. It gets away from all the controversy. Now they can think about football, have a couple of extra meetings, and get prepared for the game.
But they're playing the last place team in the West that's had, oh, so much trouble. What can Saskatchewan do to try to make this a close game, maybe win it?
Well, I think Saskatchewan has to hope they've been affected, the Lions, that is, by what's gone on in the last week. Saskatchewan has to come out and play good, sound football, eliminate the turnovers, hold on to the football and offense. But as we've seen, the BC defense can score just as quickly as their offense.
Budget meetings or not, the BC Lions are tough to beat, and John Gregory, the Saskatchewan coach, knows that better than anybody.
Well, I think the biggest fear is their secondary. I think they're so super that any pass that you throw might be intercepted, and they might take it back all the way. I think that's probably the biggest fear I have.
And that fear might extend to a pair of Jeffs. The Saskatchewan quarterback Bentram and Tedford go against the BC Lions on CFN.
A tradition of horsepower. Miss Budweiser and the king of beers. A tradition of horsepower that's making waves. Racing fans, this Bud's for you.
By L. Ron Hubbard. Buy your copy at B. Dalton's, Walden Books, or wherever paperbacks are sold. A fresh look at today's problems.
If you've ever thought of starting a business, or if you already have, the Wall Street Journal could open some new doors for you. And more important, help keep them open.
Call 800-372-3000 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-372-3000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Hi, I'm Denise Austin. Join me every day to tone up and trim down. See how celebrities keep in shape and find out the latest on fitness.
Some consider this the best defense in the business. Brett the Toaster Williams had a sore hamstring last week. This week, he's 100%. The linebackers, experienced and aggressive, led by Glenn Jackson. The defensive secondary, they're all great athletes. They think they can cover anyone. The Saskatchewan front five, they've given up 40 sacks. That's 4th best in the CFL. Narcisse and McDonald, Gregory expects big things from them. This is their second game as Riders. Bentram wants some revenge. The last time he faced the Lions defense, he threw 4 interceptions.
It costs the BC Lions more money than any other team to belong to the Canadian Football League. One reason is gate equalization. They draw the most fans. They pay the most money. In effect, the BC Board of Directors earlier this week concluded that the players must help with those contributions by accepting 10% pay cuts for the good of the league. But here's what goes through a BC player's mind. I give back money to the team, which sends it to the league, which distributes it to a last-place team, which gives it to the player I blocked last week so he can be paid in full. There has to be a better way. And after finally reaching agreement, the BC players and the BC board will try to find it without cutting anybody's pay.
The Lions are prepared today. They'd like to put everything behind them. A football player does not like to be distracted. He's paid to do one thing, and that's play football. That's what they want to do, not worry about business off field.
And when this all started, Don Matthews insisted it didn't matter, that they could still play football, but he admits that this past week has been abnormal, and he just doesn't know how the team will respond. It responds very well on the opening kickoff. As downfield, Walter Ballard makes the big hit, cutting the Saskatchewan return to a minimum, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders have the ball, and they have the win.
Well, they might as well take advantage of that win now as quickly as they can, get the ball in the end zone without disrupting the game plan. Benjamin, I'm sure, is ready, knows what he has to do, but he has to take his time.
Roughriders at their 35-yard line. Good gain on first down for Saskatchewan. And let's just check that weather as we tell you about the wind. It is going to affect the game all day long. A stiff wind at 38 kilometers per hour. The temperature is 16 degrees centigrade. It's cool in the field. Is rock solid and quite artificial. And that is bad news here in Regina. The Calgary Stampeders, third in the West, will not lose any ground and might gain some as flags come down. Good run for Walter Bender of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Let's check the flags.
Looked like some early movement from the defensive line of the BC Lions.
Offside, BC, decline, first down.
So Bender runs twice, and Saskatchewan moves the yardsticks the first time the Riders get the ball.
Well, I'm sure they'd like to run Bender a bunch more times this afternoon and have that type of success. Remembering that David Conrad has also been successful running the football out of the backfield, they shouldn't be able to key on just one man.
From the Saskatchewan 49-yard line. Bedfram on a roll to the right. He will continue to run. And this is a good running quarterback. Jeff Bedfram brings the fans out of their seats, gets the ball to the BC 44. It is a first down.
With Bentram's running ability, he can run that sprint out as well as any quarterback in the CFL. He gets a great look and a lot of help from Roger Aldag, who pulls out. A design play, they're going to have to move him around to keep the heat off him.
17 yards on the rollout by Bentram. He had an option, of course, but he didn't really look for the pass very much when he saw the room to run. Walter Bender may be busy today.
That defense of the BC Lions, they're going to do everything they possibly can and disguise it. Maybe that's what they do so well, is they don't show what they're doing to opposing offenses, and when the decision is made or they change plays, as John Gregory knows, it isn't the right one, and they come up with an interception or turnover.
Bender got a yard to the 43, 2nd and 9, Saskatchewan. Bedfram being chased by Toaster Williams, and he got him. Reaching out and clipping the ankle of Jeff Bedfram, bringing him down after a gain of only 2 yards. Now with the win, David Ridgway will come on and try a field goal, and of course he made a 60-yarder here earlier this year to set a CFL record. He had a good win that day, but I don't think it was as strong as it is now.
No, you're right. They could be going for 65 or 70 yards today if the coaches allow them. Both place kickers, Pasagli and Ridgway, have the leg.
This is merely a 49-yard attempt by Dave Ridgway. And it's good. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders take the ball in the opening kickoff with the wind, and that helps them gain a 3-0 lead. Gregory
has to be pleased on the first series of downs, led by Jeff Bentram on the offense moved the ball, mixed the plays up. Not once did he drop straight back. A little bit of bootlegging around, but they can't just rely on sprinting out. They're going to have to cut off the pursuit, as we saw. The Toaster Williams can run down quarterbacks.
The Lions do not want Saskatchewan kicking off with the wind, so the Lions take the ball. First down at the 35. Flag comes down. DeWalt throws into the wind deep, and it is incomplete.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 78.
James Curry a little bit anxious. They'd like to get after him, after Roy DeWalt, and like to do it early. That front four of Jurison, Lewis, James Curry, and Lynn Madsen. They feel all imports, and they have to get some pressure early on Roy DeWalt. Don't let him get set up. Don't let him get comfortable.
1st and 5, Lions at their 40-yard line. Cutting up is Anthony Parker for the first down. They had everybody out of the backfield, or so it seemed, but Parker came back.
Well, a little bit of motion. Try to make the defense think you're either sprinting out or there won't be anyone left in the backfield when the ball is snapped. Parker and Krause, as good as any two running backs or as a pair in the CFL, and they use them well, both as pass catchers and as runners.
Walt over the top for Sandusky. The coverage was good by Norris Gibbs.
Norris Gibbs was on Sandusky and actually snapped his head around just about at the right time when Jim Sandusky turned to get the ball. Norris Gibbs was the victim of Brian Kelly's wrath the last time. Kelly really turned him inside out. He understands that, he knows that, and he knows he has to face that type of receiver again today.
On the other side for BC, the speedy Byron Williams working against Harry Skipper of Saskatchewan. DeWalt to the sidelines. Yeah, that's a first down to Pancratz.
Pancratz coming from the inside is covered by Steve Crane, number 38. This is his first career start as a linebacker. He needs that speed to work with the inside receivers. He used to be a defensive back, and I think that's going to help him today.
Lions going against the wind, would like to move the ball and would like to move it steadily so that the first quarter doesn't take too long. Again, DeWalt throws it long for Williams. There is bumping, and there is no flag.
Down the sidelines, Roy DeWalt is not going to waste any time. He's going to work on these defensive backs. He thinks he can get a strike early. The ball was a little bit underthrown in that situation.
DeWalt has shown an interest in throwing the long ball and also moving the yardsticks and keeping this drive alive. We've played 5 minutes of the first quarter, and Saskatchewan has a 3-0 lead. DeWalt flares, and Parker was looking the other way. Didn't get set up and didn't have any blockers with him anyway.
Curry's in on him early. They set up the screen pretty well, and from the backside, Fuller's coming. He's picked up by Pancratz, but the pressure has to come from the big fellas. Hurley's got his hands full today if he's working on Curry, and he's going to do everything he can to get to DeWalt, hoping he has the ball still in his hand.
Louis Pasaglia punting into the stiff wind. You see what the wind does to it. The bounce to the arms of Joe Fuller, who gets to the 31-yard line. Saskatchewan with the ball there, with the lead. The Riders 3 and the British Lions nothing.
Hey, I didn't know this. Atlanta's talking trade again.
Hey, did you see who just walked out of camp?
Yeah, what about all these high-salaried guys on the DL?
For my money, the Sporting News is the only way.
They get the whole story every week.
Are you getting shortchanged on your sports news? Then start getting complete, in-depth coverage, up-to-the-minute news and stats, hard-hitting inside stories of football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and more. Everything you need to know every week in the Sporting News. Yes, get in on all the action and get in on this great half-price offer from the Sporting News. Here's how.
Take this tip and get in on this great half-price offer. Just call 1-800-572-2300. That's 1-800-572-2300 and receive 40 issues of the Sporting News for 4 easy payments of only $5.45. That's a savings of 1/2 off the regular subscription rate. You can't beat that price anyplace. So call now 1-800-572-2300. That's 1-800-572-2300.
3 in the British Columbia Lions, nothing. Dave Ridgway made a 49-yard field goal. The Calgary Stampeders have defeated the Hamilton Tiger Cats 33-17. So at this moment, Calgary has 12 points in 3rd place. Saskatchewan sits in last place with only 5 points. Bender for a couple of yards.
Bender, number 32, running with the ball. John Gregory said Jeff Benstrom has matured in the last couple of weeks. Felt he played a pretty good game against the Eskimos. It looks like he feels a lot more comfortable at the quarterback spot coming up to the line, getting them out of the huddle quickly. Looked like he changed the play there to a different situation, but he looks more confident to me.
On 2nd down, they need about 8, and the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Kevin Connors celebrating with Brett Williams and Rick Clausen. Following this game, we'll be selecting the Canada Lease MVP. A week ago today, Larry Crawford was well on his way to being that, even before his 82-yard punt return near the end of the game, which salted away the victory for the Lions over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Larry Crawford is going to return this punt of Terry Baker. Hit 180 yards in punt returns last week. Baker kicks it short. And Crawford doesn't get a chance to handle that ball.
With the wind the way it is, the punt returners are going to have a tough time judging where to line up when they go back to catch the punt. That time you can see Crawford backed up a good 50-55 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Baker wasn't that successful in the punt.
Well, the wind really takes hold if you get the ball up in the air, but Baker didn't kick it high enough and so got a 42-yard return, but a 42-yard punt. But because there was no return, it winds up as net yardage of 42 yards, which the Riders might be happy with. They like this too. Gang tackling. And a slight loss on the first down play for the Lions.
Well, gang tackling is right, and that starts when everything up front is slowed down. Bobby Jurison from the end will take on the blocker immediately. Now he's not kicked out. Held his ground. That allows the hole, or that closes the hole down. Linebacker Albright and the rest of them just close in on. That's good defense by Jurison.
The Riders are overloaded with imports on defense. They've got 4 up front for the first time this season. They want and feel they need a good pass rush on Roy DeWalt. A little too quick that time, and before the play gets underway, the flags come down. But John Gregory knows the BC defense is strong, and his offense can only do so much, so he's counting on
offside, 79 Saskatchewan.
I'll try to hold down the Lions output.
And that's tough to do. He thinks he's got the men up front that can do that, to put the pressure. If you've got 4 guys in your front defensive line that can put pressure, you don't have to gamble as much blitzing linebackers. Then you don't put as much pressure on your secondary.
2nd down at 6 now.
From the Lions 41, they are 2nd and 6. DeWalt turns away from the rush, but can't escape it. So that solid wall up front is paying off for Saskatchewan. That's Lynn Madsen, a newcomer, a Washington Husky.
Again, good pressure. Jurison's going to come in. A nifty little move there, grabbing the shoulder and sliding by Mills. But the first pressure comes from Madsen, which throws DeWalt off. Then he has to look at Jurison coming in on him, and then it's over.
Madsen played 15 games for the Houston Oilers last season. Another punt into the wind by Pasaglia, another bounce, and Fuller stumbled and now goes down. Saskatchewan continues to lead by 3 points. Dave Ridgway's 49-yard field goal, the only scoring.
There he is. What a happening dude.
There's a super party animal. Yeah. His name is Fox McKenzie. A barbecue inside. A barbecue. And a cold Bud Light. A cold Bud Light. Puts them in a party frenzy. In a party frenzy. He's Spuds McKenzie, Bud Light's original party animal. Go, Bud, go. Go, Bud, go. Go, Bud, go.
But you really cooking now.
All right.
October on ESPN. Part of the hottest fall ever. College football heats up with live Saturday doubleheaders, sizzling Grand Prix and IndyCar excitement, and horsepower of another kind sets a blistering pace between top thoroughbreds. Golf's best scorch the fairways in the Nabisco Championship. There's fire on ice as the National Hockey League season begins. And Sundays don't miss television's ultimate highlight show, NFL Primetime. The hottest fall of sports ever in October on ESPN. ESPN brings back some great sports memories Friday, like Ben Hogan's U.S. Open victory after a near-fatal accident, and Bobby Thompson's shot heard round the world. Then NFL's football follies hit your funny bone hard, and Lawrence Taylor shows how he became the league's MVP. The hits keep on coming when Lupe Aquino battles Gianfranco Rossi in Italy for the World Super Welterweight Championship. Friday on ESPN.
6.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Saskatchewan happy that the BC Lions have been held off the scoreboard, but the Riders would like more than 3 points with the win. They start in good position here. Bedford on a deep roll. Now he comes back the other way and shows that running ability again and some speed. Goes up the sidelines and makes yards when it appeared he could lose.
He certainly earned his money on that one. Boy, he was scrambling. He had pressure from the very beginning of the play. He's trying to sprint out left, and Walter Ballard just had made an outstanding effort to get after him, and then chased him down from behind almost.
In BC territory, ball at the 48. Second down and 2. And from again rolling, needs some blocks to spring and loose. And he won't get there. He loses back to the 50. Great pursuit by the BC defense.
The quickness in pursuit of this BC Lion defense. Somebody's not cutting off up front because we're getting pursuit from behind. Right behind Brian Yellowbroom when he pulls out. Somebody's pulling right behind him in a white-colored shirt. Bencham doesn't get a chance to plant his feet. If he's going to sprint out, he's looking to throw the football. He wants to stop and throw the ball downfield. He doesn't get the opportunity.
Now they're punting and not kicking a field goal. Dave Ridgway has made one for 60 yards, and they could try a field goal shorter than that here. Now they're going to fake it and spring into the clear. Terry Cochran, one man to beat, to the 3-yard line.
That's a great play, and it's perfect timing. Now we know why they weren't going to kick a field goal, and it's the execution right here. A kick-out block, and Cochran uses his speed, gets to the outside. He's going to run to the corner. There's one man. You might as well run over him to get in the end zone.
From UBC, Terry Cochran just hits BC. The Lions with a big play. They gave him to the 2-yard line, and Bender goes over the top for the remaining 2. There's a flag on the play.
Offside, BC number 14.
It is a Saskatchewan touchdown by Walter Bender after the 3rd down fake and 48-yard run by Terry Cochran.
That's a good little bit of coaching there. Perfect timing for the fake, and this is straight handoff to Bender. He'll follow David Conrad in right behind him. When he feels it, he's going to jump it.
Oh, now Ridgway, nice short little convert and puts Saskatchewan in front by a score of 10-0 over the British Columbia.
ESPN Home Video presents Teaching Kids Football with Bo Schembechler. This 75-minute video cassette is designed to show parents and youth coaches how to teach children the basic fundamentals and techniques of the sport in a safe and fun way.
We want this to be a very...
Their biggest clearance sale ever.
Can't we do better than that? 1-9 financing or up to $1,000 cash back on Ranger and Bronco 2.
Let me throw the tag on it. We'll take it for a test drive.
1-9 or cash back on Ford Tempo and Taurus.
I want the Escort.
Tempo is definitely the car for us.
But hurry, the main event ends Wednesday.
Write it up. Hey, thanks. You're a miracle worker. Thanks.
This month, American Movie Classics celebrates New York, New York with a classic movie trivia contest. Starting September 14th, watch for a festival of movies about New York on American Movie Classics. Then test your knowledge of movie trivia and you can win exciting prizes. Here's how to play.
Listen to K-Rose FM 98 every day between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. to hear the daily questions. And then watch American Movie Classics that night on Macaw Cablevision Channel 32 to get the answers. You could win a limited edition poster-sized classic movie calendar suitable for framing, and winners are eligible for a trip to New York.
Tries to get this kickoff just as deep as possible with the help of the wind. Mel Bird, good, solid, dependable kick return man, gets out to the 35.
Bird is down at the 34.5-yard line.
Bird is one of the best at bringing the ball back upfield. He protects the ball. There's never a question that when he goes into a pile or into a crowd, he covers that ball with two hands. Very rarely turns the ball over. Playing with a hyper-extended elbow. He'll continue to play in the game, but that's got to be a sore one.
He averages better than 24 yards on a kickoff return, and that is the best among the league leaders in total yardage. DeWalt tries to get over the top again, and it doesn't work. Byron Williams working against the Saskatchewan corner, Harry Skipper. Obviously, BC feels that this play can work on either side because DeWalt has thrown it to both Williams and Sandusky, but Gibbs and Skipper have done their job.
Well, that pattern really is just a foot race shoot. The receiver tries to release to the outside and get downfield, and then if he can beat his man, he beats it. The quarterback throws the ball over his head.
2nd and 10 Lions. They're at their 35. That pass was nearly picked off, and Rod Fisher is asking himself why he didn't catch it.
Yes, not only why, but if he had, it's clear territory into the end zone.
So things are working well for Saskatchewan, and that's how it's intended with the win in the first quarter. This is where home field advantage does make a difference. On a windy day. Saglia sucked people in with the idea of a fake and then kicked a pretty good punt, but here comes Joe Fuller out of the traffic.
Just a great effort by Fuller, picking his way back upfield, never really getting an opportunity to use his quickness and speed, but now he's using his head. He's finding little areas, a couple of missed tackles. If he doesn't stumble here, this could have been interesting.
Good concentration by his blockers on that play. The punt was a little longer than anybody thought was possible into the wind, and the positioning was good on the return. Bettram scrambling around. He manages to get a couple of yards, but then goes down, and it will be a loss near midfield.
You know, the turf is perfectly dry, but people are slipping on it because it's older and it's hard, and it's tough to judge what kind of footwear for these guys. A lot of the BC Lions on the defensive line are wearing top or running shoes, or a top 10 type of shoe that you'd wear in a basketball court.
2nd and long for the Riders. Benson sits in the pocket, but not very long. Now throws one up and out of bounds. The closest Rider receiver to it was Ray Elgard, but he knew he didn't have a chance, so Bettram played it safe.
Well, playing it safe and throwing it up are two different things. He throws that one downfield, a little bit off balance, off his back foot, and I think that's when the Lions defense starts to shine. They pursue, they close in on the ball well, and maybe if it hadn't been a windy day, that would have fallen in bounds.
Well, let's see if Larry Crawford gets a chance to return a punt this time. All sorts of trouble for Crawford. First was catching the ball, and second was evading a wave of green.
Well, Crawford bobbles the ball. He wants to get a good jump on it. Then he tries to plant, and he slips. You know, the tape going around the foot some players tape their ankles over their shoes. When that tape is outside the shoe, sometimes it takes away the grip of the shoe, the little nipples that are in the bottom, speaking of nipples, and it makes it slippery.
Sometimes it's okay to bring a bottle to the game. From the 4-yard line, flags go down as the Lions run on first down, so that worked well for Saskatchewan. Baker got a 54-yard punt, and Crawford could only return it 2 yards.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 24.
Well, that's the 4th time Joe Fuller has come up out of his halfback spot and closed in tight to the defensive end and made it look like he was going to rush. This time he did come a little bit too anxious.
A bit of breathing room for the Lions as the ball comes out to their 9-yard line, and first down again, 5 yards to go. Tony Parker takes the handoff, and he is hit immediately by Lynn Madsen.
Boy, that's coming through and laying a shot on somebody. The back didn't even have a chance to look at the offensive line, see where the hole was going to open up. Anthony Parker gets the ball, wants to go upfield, but that's closed, and that door is closed quickly.
No gains, second down and 5. And DeWalt will throw it this time. Far sideline, not close to Jim Sandusky, so Passaglia into this wind in the final minute of the first quarter will have to punt from his end zone.
Well, you can see how the wind affects the ball. DeWalt has one of the strongest arms in the league throwing it, and that ball was just pushed down into the ground by that wind. And I'll tell you, I haven't seen the Riders been this confident on defense in a long time.
We'll watch Kevin Dixon downfield in this punt. He is kamikaze on special teams for the Lions. And after he does what he does, we'll show you what he does. That is blocked. No chance to recover because they really blocked that punt.
Norris Gibbs, they work on this in practice. It's a design play, if you will. He sets a point of where Louis Passaglia is going to end up when he's kicking the ball. And he just comes through clean. Needed a little bit more backspin on that ball after he blocked it.
There is a discussion with the officials. It's a safety touch.
Kevin Dixon's responsibility, block Eddie Lowe, make him start over again, just like he did. Now release downfield, but now this is where the terror strikes. Where is the football?
It is not a safety touch.
Every man is responsible for another man, and Norris Gibbs is untouched coming from the left side of the defense. Almost looked easy.
Well, they put 2 points up on the board for Saskatchewan, but the rule obviously is that the Riders take over the ball at the 10-yard line. And it is still 10-0. Walter Bender got a yard, maybe 2, fighting for yardage.
It's tough to run to the outside when force from the defense comes early. Larry Crawford, as you're looking at the defensive back, they're happy about that. Anytime you can get a block punt, that's great. But a defense can really throw off a running game if aggressive defensive backs can come up and destroy the blocking scheme.
2nd and 9, Riders. From the 9-yard line, which means 2nd and goal. Vetrum looking for some daylight. Now he throws in desperation. The ball was very nearly intercepted in the end zone. And that's a pass that Vetrum should not have thrown. Throwing it away would have been an easier way to protect the 3 points that Ridgway should make. And that is the end of the first quarter. So Dave Ridgway's field goal try will come into the wind, though it is a short field goal attempt.
Don't just ask for a light beer.
A couple of lights.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light, the less filling light beer with the first name and taste. Because everything else
Ah, last call.
is just a light.
Let's play football. You're on.
Now play hard-hitting football with VCR Quarterback, the new NFL board game with VCR action. As a VCR quarterback, you call the plays. The pros run them on your VCR. You get a game board and cassette with hundreds of the greatest plays in NFL history. Get the NFL VCR Quarterback game. It's a hit. Don't miss the kickoff. Pick up your VCR Quarterback game today.
A lot of people who don't think they need a hearing aid may already have one.
Up 2 streets, take a right.
He said up 2 streets and take a right.
They bring their hearing aid with them everywhere. What do you say?
He said he doesn't want to leave her, but he has to.
Now there's a hearing aid for people reluctant to wear one. It's called Miracle Ear. If you can hear people talk but can't understand all the words, if you have nerve deafness, Miracle Ear could help. And Miracle Ear is tiny, practically unnoticeable. Call 1-800-233-9800 for a free booklet about better hearing, what steps to take next, and how to get a free hearing test.
Thousand Island or vinaigrette?
She said Italian, Thousand Island, or vinaigrette.
Call Miracle Ear, 1-800-233-9800. The phone call, information, and hearing test are free. Call now. When you're losing your hearing, the worst thing to do is nothing.
What did he say?
Your face takes enough abuse, so Gillette introduces the new Good News Plus disposable. Its Luber-Smooth strip is designed to reduce irritation, so shaving feels so good. New Good News Plus.
Some light rain falling at Taylor Field in Regina as we get set to start the second quarter with a Dave Ridgway field goal attempt of 16 yards. Trying to make it a 13-0 lead, and that's the way the scoreboard reads now. As Ridgway is good on his second field goal try. Now, just to clarify what happened and what the ruling was on the block kick, Neil, Saskatchewan could have had the safety touch, could have had the 2 points, and then BC would have had to kick the ball to Saskatchewan, or the Riders could do as they did and take a first down with no points scored from the 10-yard line. There's an old football rule that says, or football theory that says never take points off the board. Saskatchewan did that, just put them back up, plus another point. However, they must give the ball to BC now. Had they taken the safety, they'd have had the ball as well.
Well, maybe they felt they wanted to keep the wind behind them. They wanted to score as quickly as they possibly could, feeling that they could get the 6 points without much problem. But it's not always that easy against the BC Lions, whether you're on the 1-yard line or the 50-yard line.
Obviously, Saskatchewan wanted the touchdown, didn't get it, but still increases the lead after all of that. 13-0, and now we'll see what the Lions can do with the wind as they get the ball. This is dangerous. Larry Crawford, but he's pulled down from behind. Excellent pursuit by James Ellingson.
Well, Larry Crawford was looking like he always does after he returns a kick. He catches it, he sets for a second, and then he starts to go to an area where he knows a return is being set up. Just great hustle by Ellingson, beating a block and chasing Crawford down. He catches this ball close to the sidelines. A lot of people might have taken it just straight up the field. Oh, no. And this makes you think something was going on. He was trying to get to a return that was set up. Just good hustle.
First down, Lions to Walt with a receiver all by himself. Hand cracks, and there's a decent gain on first down. Roy DeWalt to John Pancraft. It's no coincidence that players who played football earlier in their careers in the Vancouver area are playing well today against the Lions. Ellingson with a good play, formerly a Richmond Raider in junior football, and Terry Cochran made a big play in the first quarter. He's a former UBC Thunderbird. Fumble from the snap, and both teams say they've got it. Saskatchewan shows that the ball is indeed in the Riders' possession, and unless the flags are against Saskatchewan, that's a turnover, and the Riders get a big break in the second quarter. And now the Lions are clapping, so let's see the penalty.
Offside, BC. Offside, Saskatchewan. Second down repeated.
Well, that's a safe call in that situation.
Down over. Still second
It amounts to a break for the Lions from the 42-yard line. Second and 2, BC. Parker took a crack but made the first down. Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Good solid hit by Joe Fuller.
Fuller came up quickly, and Parker takes it in and then bounces to the outside. Good instinct for the football. His eyes are open. He knows what's going on, but he starts to turn, gets those shoulders square, and then pop.
That's the only way to describe that sound is pop. First down for the 45. DeWalt with time. Lots of it. Now it closes in on him, and he's down.
Well, that's the way you like to draw it up. If the quarterback's trying to set up in the pocket, you'll give him the area where he stands, but if he's flushed out, as he is here, he should run into one of the defensive ends who are keeping contained. Matson flushes him out, and look who you've got to contend with, James Curry.
Lynn Matson has had an impressive first half from that right defensive end for Saskatchewan.
On that play, it's second and 21.
Lions need 21 yards on second down, and they will throw to the sidelines. Coming back is the speed man, and they won't catch him. Jim Sandusky in a foot race is going to win with that kind of a head start against any secondary. And Sandusky, as he did last week against Winnipeg, shows how important it is to know where that football is.
The man in coverage was Norris Gibbs, and after Sandusky caught that pass and came back around, Gibbs seemed to fold. Either he caught a toe or a foot and went down, but it's pressure, and that pressure means one-on-one on the corner. It's the strangest play. He comes over to the football, reacts to the pass. Sandusky, as he does many times, comes back to the football, and Gibbs just goes down.
Joe Fuller gave a good chase, but Jim Sandusky was on his way to a touchdown the minute he moved past Norris Gibbs.
Well, this is not good news for the Riders. You hate to lose a player in any situation, but the 5 starting defensive backs that Saskatchewan comes into this game with, and the one backup is all they have. They have no one else on the reserve list. Everyone else has gone south.
Play in the replacement league that will be known as the National Football League next week. We commonly refer to this as the game around here, the CFL. Today, it's the game everywhere.
For more than 50 years, no magazine has chronicled the American way of life better than Life.
I'm talking about America.
His job is to minimize the amount his company pays you. At Abeda and Nelson, we'll help you fight back. We're experts in personal injury cases. There's no charge to discuss your case with us, and no fee unless we recover for you. So don't face this man alone. Call us at Abeda and Nelson, the firm that gets results.
When you're in the business of saving lives, you better not let your transmission die. That's why many ambulance fleets go to AMCO, because AMCO does better than fix your transmission. They rebuild it to perform like new. Ambulances can't take unnecessary risks. Should you? Go where you know it's better than fixed. It's AMCO, AA, MCO.
Against Fresno State. A battle between two Pacific Coast powers. Live Thursday night on ESPN.
Well, John Gregory has seen his share of misfortune for just this reason this season. Saskatchewan Roughriders losing key players early in ball games. Receiver Todd Brown, running back Tim McCray. Both out and both heard early in games Norris Gibbs has gone off like this before, and as Neil said, there's only one available replacement in the secondary. Now they're down to their last 5. Bill Fuller, a good return out near the 50-yard line. And every little bit helps when you're going into the wind that is now mixed with a driving rain.
Well, Fuller's return really does give the offense a good place in the field to start. Good view of what's going on. He takes it wide, and by going wide like that, the pursuit coming downfield will stay in their lanes. He makes a good cut, goes straight up the lane. Good instinctive running.
Riders at their 49. Draw play, Walter Bender, and he's got good yardage to the 51 of the Lions.
Oh, straight set up for a draw. Try to get that pressure off, and you can see Bender's just a little bit anxious. He gets into that running stance. A good block by Skullroot right there on Kevin Konar. Keeps Konar outside. Gives Bender a lane to get upfield in.
They are short, but not by much of a first down. They put the ball at the 52 of the Lions. See if the Riders will make the conservative call. Yes, Bettram for the first down, reaching for the 50-yard line.
Well, you don't like to see this anytime. Norris Gibbs is obviously having a problem with his leg. He needs help off. We just hope it's not serious.
Beaten on a 75-yard touchdown pass and run. Roy DeWalt to Jim Sandusky that has the Lions right back in this game, and I think it was assumed that they would get back into the game. They have the ability to strike quickly, and they showed it. Walter Bender is held up at the line of scrimmage, gets 2 or 3 yards.
It's interesting when we asked John Gregory today, are you going to encourage Bentram to run more? He just said, no, we can't let our quarterback run too much. This group of guys we're looking at will make it awfully tough on him. He is only a quarterback.
Second and 7.
We saw a look at Elvis Satelli, the middle linebacker from BC, replacing starter Bernie Gleer, has been shaken up. We assume he will be back. There's a pass, good catch. Tough one to hold on to, but the Saskatchewan Roughriders moved the yardsticks, and that was Tony Dennis.
And Tony Dennis has had an opportunity to play this year. He's helped this offense. He's a sure-handed inside receiver that comes back, runs very exact patterns, and can catch the ball in the crowd.
And another player who came up through Vancouver at Simon Fraser University. Illegal procedure against Saskatchewan is...
There's flags on the way.
The call as the flag comes down.
Walter Bender at the ball.
Ray Elgard lined up in the right end, the tight end spot, jumped prematurely.
Offside. BC number 79, first down repeated.
Well, we guessed wrong, but
I wasn't even close.
I'm still not sure we were wrong.
Well, you get a good view right there. There it is.
Well, you can see the offside, but that is a case for a call that we saw earlier in the game, offside on both teams, because Ray Elgard definitely came up.
And down over first and 5 at the 34.
First and 5 from the 34, inside handoff.
Ball carrier,
A couple of yards. The Riders like the time that this is taking on the clock as they move the ball into the wind.
The report we have on Norris Gibbs, and maybe the reason he went down as strange as he did, is cartilage in the right knee. Sometimes the cartilage can make the knee lock up and you can't bend it. And that's why maybe he went down as quickly and as strange as he did.
Second down from the 32. They have to go to the 29. And again they run, and this time Walter Bender's got it with yards to spare to the 25.
Credit has to go to that front 5, the offensive line of Saskatchewan. Against a good defense that can come off the ball and read quickly, they're giving them seams. See Roger Aldag pulling around to the left behind his tackle. That's where the hole is. Aldag and Skullroot change assignments, just changing up their blocking responsibilities gives them a good lane.
Bender is shaken up. John Gregory says everybody gets injuries, but when we lose our most important wide receiver, our running back, key linebacker, it's really hard to keep playing the game. And they've lost Norris Gibbs, a defensive back, right cornerback. Now Bender has to sit out for a few plays at least. He took a hit in the head, I think, as he made that first down. First down from the 25 for Saskatchewan. Edstrom throws underneath. Elgard, or it's Conrad rather, tucks it away and goes to the 14, fumbles the football, and the Lions have it coming the other way. Nelson Martin picked up the fumble of David Conrad, and the drive ends without any points, but Saskatchewan still leads 13-7.
For a quick jolt of comedy, get Tim Conway's new video, Dorf on Golf. As Dirk Dorf, athlete extraordinaire, Conway shows his form.
I think I blew a tube on this.
And shows you how his caddy, Leonard, improves his game. Dorf shows how to swing, how to hit out of the rough, and over and under a sand trap. Through this special TV offer, you get Tim's comedy book free. So get Dorf now.
To order your Dorf video, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-645-1000 or send $29.95 plus $3 shipping to Dorf on Golf, Box 20, Department E, Los Angeles, California. That's 1-800-645-1000.
8:09 remaining in the first half. Saskatchewan leading 13-7. The Lions with the ball after Nelson Martin's fumble recovery. DeWalt throws. Ray Krause catches and keeps driving for yardage. Krause's first reception of the day.
Well, if they're not going to cover the running backs out of the backfield, they might as well throw the ball to him. With the guys like Parker and Krause, they can turn a small catch into a big play. See, there's no one out there on him.
Lions at their 37. Trailing by 6 points. 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Out of the arms of Anthony Parker into the arms of Saskatchewan defender Harry Skipper with the interception, and the Riders are right back looking for points.
That's an opportunist right there. He's sitting back. He's underneath the coverage. They're in a zone cover. The ball's thrown out. It just can't be handled by Parker. And there you are. Now, if he slowed down a bit, Jurison could throw the block on DeWalt. He might have gotten into the end zone, but he's just a little bit too anxious, and I can't say that I blame him.
First and goal, Riders at the Lions 8. The lights are on, the wind blows, and the rain falls, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are leading. Bender diving near the 3-yard line.
Well, the way the running game's been going for Saskatchewan, I'd just keep running the football. I wouldn't even thinking about throwing it here.
Wide receivers spread out, taking defenders with them. Edstrom is going to throw, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Narcisse, one of the new receivers who debuted last week. The fans want to gamble here, but Dave Ridgway is coming on. At least there's the indication that he'll kick.
I think John Gregory understands that if you can get 3 points, go ahead and take it, because it could be an important 3 points down the road.
An 11-yard field goal attempt. He does kick it, and he makes it, and it is now 16-7 in favor of Saskatchewan over the BC Lions. The Harry Skipper interception adding 3 points.
You're about to see how one super machine can take the place of a whole gym, and you won't believe the price. But first, give your mind a workout with this video fitness quiz. Kim's toning up with the remarkable Omni Gym. Would you say it performs 10 functions, 20, or 30? Answer over 30 exercises.
The versatile Omni Gym adjusts 3 ways to effectively target every major muscle group. Use it as a bench press. Stand up for squats and pull-ups. It's a marvelous resistance rower. And it replaces cumbersome free weights for forward and reverse curls. Employing the physics of controlled resistance, the Omni Gym actually sculpts your body from within, creating the contours you desire.
Like these thighs, this trim waist, this bust line, and you won't believe the price. True or false, men and women get equal benefits. The answer is true. Women can trim down thighs and hips, firm buttocks, flatten tummies, reduce cellulite.
While he can get that washboard stomach and a tight, well-defined body.
Similar equipment that does less can cost hundreds of dollars more. So take a guess. Considering that you can perform over 30 exercises with the Omni Gym, what do you think it costs? The answer is none of the above. The Omni Gym is a no-sweat $59.95. And it's yours with a 30-day guarantee of satisfaction.
So if over 30 exercises for just $59.95 sounds good to you, the only other question is, how do I order?
To order your Omni Gym, call toll-free 1-800-346-5300. That's 1-800-346-5300. Use your credit card or send check or money order for $59.95 plus $9 shipping and handling to Omni Gym, Department 11, Canton, Ohio 44750.
Dave Ridgway has kicked 3 field goals. Saskatchewan Roughriders lead 16-7. The margin, those 3 kicks by Ridgway. Crawford on the return. He's running with the room he had, and he had a lot of it, down to the 43-yard line. Recently inducted into the Saskatchewan Roughriders Hall of Fame, the most successful coach the Riders ever had, Eagle Keys, also a former coach for the BC Lions, though I guess you'd prefer to talk about the record here.
Well, I guess, Dave, this is a good football game, though, and Saskatchewan certainly has played well up until now.
We'll get the comments of Eagle Keys, former Rider coach and Lions coach, as we continue with this game. Flags are down. Parker has the pass from DeWalt, and a first down if the penalty is against Saskatchewan. You, of course, coached the 1966 Grey Cup team here, the only one ever in Saskatchewan. Some memories on that side. Greatest of all Saskatchewan team.
Well, Dave, we just had a great bunch of football players. If we started naming players, then, you know, you could take that era and say that they were all great, starting with Ronnie Lancaster, George Reed, and all the rest.
Eagle, you had to deal with some windy days when you were a coach, didn't you?
Yeah, we used to play the wind, Neil, more than we played the game, I think. Anytime you come in Taylor Field, you got to expect the wind.
Intercepted pass. Joe Fuller with the ball and on the run out to the 16-yard line as the Saskatchewan Roughriders capitalize again on a BC turnover. Turnover is obviously important, and in bad weather, you see them more often than not, and now this ball game is starting to turn on turnover.
Coach, how do you look at this interception?
Well, he just made a great play on the football. He made a great play on the ball.
That's turnovers. Those are the types of things they need, especially when BC's driving.
First down Riders from their 16-yard line after Joe Fuller's interception. Vetrum keeps going. How do you feel about the problems that the league is having? Do you feel optimistic, pessimistic about the future?
Well, there's a lot of talk, Dave. I just hope it smooths over and the CFL is able to exist, because I think it'd be a great void if it isn't here, and I think people would really miss the game. I think it'll smooth over myself.
He's a part of great football history in Regina and in Vancouver. The Canadian Football League generally. Our thanks to Eagle Keys for stopping by, and again, congratulations on joining the Riders Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Dave.
Walter Bender running for the Riders. Nelson Martin has him in his grasp, but turns him back.
By 74. Listen to you.
Nelson Martin having a super year, maybe his best as a pro. Asked Gregory earlier, will Jeff Bentram see Nelson Martin a lot today on blitzes? He figured he'd see him 10, 11 times from his blitzing safety. That's a lot of blitzing.
They're down now, 2 yards to go.
Terry Baker awaiting the snap. It's high. Driving kick, and that gets into the arms of Mel Bird very quickly. It's only a 31-yard punt, and Bird gets 8 of it back on the return. So the Lions, as you'd expect with the wind, have good field position, but they trail by 9 points, and they turned the ball over 3 times, and the Lions are not noted for that.
Matthews pacing like an expectant father. He's waiting for something to happen. His offense start to move the football, get the ball in the end zone.
Right now they're 47 yards away from the Saskatchewan end zone. The ball on a draw to Anthony Parker, and in the middle of the line, they didn't budge.
They certainly reacted well on the inside. You heard somebody call draw. That's probably David Albright playing the middle. And that allows, that type of communication is very important in a football game, because you might have a defensive tackle or end who's stuck in front of his offensive lineman. When he hears the voice of one of his players called draw, he will react and close down. As you see, Curry did exactly that with the help of Lowe and a bunch of other fellows.
Gary Lewis really the first to make contact with Parker, stood him up and then turned him back. There's a flag down, and DeWalt goes down. And again, that's Gary Lewis who is making his presence felt along that front board.
Gary Lewis, when he was with the Riders in 1986, led them in sacks with 9.
Offside, Saskatchewan number 76, second down and 3.
When Matson was called for offside.
To say finish on Lewis. After last season, he felt he'd take another shot at the NFL, went down to the New York Jets, was one of the very last cut, and John Gregory got him back. They need that pressure up front, and they're hoping Lewis will help them.
Some of the world's finest hotels are changing the way they do business for people who carry the Players Club card.
Why? Because members built the Players Club. You said you wanted VIP savings on accommodations. Members get tremendous...
This month at Cahoon Lincoln Mercury, we've got it all. We've got inventory galore, over 80 new cars. Cougars, Topazes, we have front-wheel drive Sables for only $12,998, and we have Lynxes for as low as $149 a month. The new car you've been looking for is here now at low 1987 prices. Our service and parts department and our body shop have only one purpose in mind, to serve you. It's all here this month for you at Cahoon Lincoln Mercury, the working man's friend.
Cahoon Lincoln Mercury, the working man's friend.
This month, American Movie Classics celebrates New York, New York with a classic movie trivia contest. Starting September 14th, watch for a festival of movies about New York on American Movie Classics. Then test your knowledge of movie trivia and you can win exciting prizes. Here's how to play.
Listen to K-Rose FM 98 every day between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. to hear the daily questions. And then watch American Movie Classics that night on Macaw Cablevision Channel 32 to get the answers. You could win a limited edition poster-sized classic movie calendar suitable for framing, and winners are eligible for a trip to New York.
Torch the fairways in the Nabisco Championship. There's fire on ice as the National Hockey League season begins. And Sundays, don't miss television's ultimate highlight show, NFL Primetime, the hottest fall of sports ever, in October on ESPN.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders have done a very good job avoiding penalties this season. Not so today. They have jumped offside 6 times. I guess Gregory likes to see the eagerness, but not the flags.
Yes, a little bit more discipline is needed.
2nd and 6. Another flag comes down. Pass is caught by Byron Williams. And this time, the penalty is going the other way.
Procedure, BC number 36. Second down and 2.
Paul Nastasiak, who is filling in for Jan Carinci, who banged his knee up a little bit in the last week in the game against Winnipeg. He's recovering. They need him back in the offense. They also need Nastasic to stand still until the ball snaps.
Lions expect and hope that Jan Carinci and left guard Gerald Roper will be ready for their next game in Toronto. But today it's Nastasiuk at the slot and Jamie Buis at left guard. A lot of noise from these fans who are now wet. Williams is in behind Skipper but can't get to the football. And that's the speed of Byron Williams that is starting to concern defensive coaches around the league. He might have some flaws elsewhere in his repertoire, but pure speed is something that Byron Williams does not lack.
Going for a tall man, not only has he got speed, but good quickness when he comes off the ball. He accelerates well. He gets by the defensive back. And that one-on-one situation out in the corner is because Rod Fisher, the halfback, his blitz came up but didn't get to the quarterback. If you're going to blitz, you got to make him throw early to give your corners a bit of a help.
Don Matthews lets Louis Pasaglia try a 55-yard field goal with the wind, and I don't think the wind is going to give him all the help that he wanted. Joe Fuller in the end zone downs it for a single point, and the BC Lions are now within 8.
It's tough to look at the Lions and their performance today and think they're flat. John Gregory was afraid they would come out in this game and just be ready to rip and ready to go. And I think maybe they are a little bit down. Not on their game, if you will.
Well, it didn't help that they had to fight the wind in the first quarter, and the Saskatchewan played very well, with the element of surprise maybe being the biggest play we've seen so far. The third down gamble. Run from punt formation. Bedfrom in the pocket, throws over the middle, and he led his receiver, Ray McDonald.
Bedfrom puts most of his receivers to the right side of the formation from the middle of the field. There's only one receiver, and he came out late. It was Walter Bender out of the backfield to the left side. So they're trying to work on something. They're trying to get something downfield, and Bedfrom just hasn't been able to hook up with it yet.
The blitz, Bedfrom read it well, and the pass was dropped by Elgard, who's mad, and he knows that others will be disappointed he didn't catch that pass. Bedfrom did his job. Elgard didn't do his.
Well, they both did their jobs as far as reading what the defense is doing. Nelson Martin comes out of the safety spot, lines up in the line of scrimmage and blitz. Elgard recognizes that and came off the ball and goes to the inside, but Bedfrom read it, but they needed the catch.
Nothing else counts if you drop the ball. Larry Crawford is down for the Lions. The injury report today, the most important name on it is Norris Gibbs, who was taken out of the game after being beaten early in the second quarter on a 75-yard touchdown pass to Jim Sandusky.
Section 203, row 10.
Now a key member of the BC secondary shaken up.
Section 39, row 10.
He's had himself quite a year in 1987. If it hasn't been returning punts or sacking the quarterback, interceptions, he's just been tremendous.
We asked Don Matthews if he feels this is the best secondary he's ever seen in the CFL, and he said, obviously it's tough to compare, but you wouldn't want to change anything about this group of guys. I guess that makes it the best.
Makes it
Don't know how to improve it.
Third down, 10.
Baker punting into the wind, got a pretty good kick away. Fumble ball, the Lions don't have it yet. Now they get it back.
That little bit of rain may affect holding on to the football, but I think it's just guys are going to have to tune in a little bit and realize they're in a football game here, and Saskatchewan just isn't in the league for the heck of it, coming out to play a little bit of football on a Sunday afternoon. These guys want to win, and they better screw their heads on and get themselves into the football game, or the turnovers and plays like this are going to continue to happen.
One big play is about all the Lions have had going for them, but it did get them 7 points. This is a bad play by DeWalt, and it's going to be a touchdown, I think, for the Roughriders. Cutting it up the middle was Glenn Suter, and he scores 6 points. And DeWalt flat out threw a bad pass.
Graduate of Simon Fraser picks his 5th pass off this year. And you watch Roy DeWalt, he throws this ball leaning back. He's just trying to get rid of it, and he believes he can get it into Sandusky before the defensive back can react. He took a chance, and he was wrong.
Ridgway makes the convert, and the score is 23 for Saskatchewan and 8 for the BC Lions.
Well, if momentum can mean anything, I would say it's on the side of the Saskatchewan Roughriders right now. Their offense has moved the ball well today, haven't made any glaring mistakes, and I think their defense, as I said earlier on, is so pumped up and is executing so well. Maybe that's the move of putting the front four together with Lewis, Jurison, Curry, and Madsen is the difference, because DeWalt threw the ball when he wasn't ready to. And that comes from pressure.
Well, in a win game like this, a touchdown against the wind from your defense is really a bonus. And, of course, the Riders began the second quarter with 3 points that came originally from the block kick. So they've scored 10 points into the wind, and the Lions have only 7.
Roy DeWalt, percentages, passes, and intercepted were great coming into this game. He's 5 coming into the game. He's thrown 3 today.
Mel Burt stepped out of bounds, but another excellent kick return by Mel Burt. Actually, there's another Ridgway field goal in this quarter after the Harry Skipper interception, which makes it 13 points for the Riders against the wind and only 7 for the Lions with it.
Well, I don't think anybody has to tell Roy DeWalt what to do now. He had a quick conference with Greg Vavra, the backup on the sidelines. Time to settle down and start to execute.
5-9-2.
Mel Burt's return was to the Saskatchewan 52. That pass eludes the intended receiver.
And once again, we see the defensive line patting the rear ends of each other, going back to the huddle, and Roy DeWalt's picking himself off the ground. They are getting through, getting the pressure on the quarterback when they need it, and that's all the time.
A minute 45 in the first half, and the Lions are down by 15. This time a blitzing linebacker, Eddie Lowe, gets the sack, but the front four is really playing a game for Saskatchewan.
Eddie Lowe just waits for a second after the ball snap. You see him on the left side of your screen. He will come all the way around. Good job of protection, but there's no one to pick up the last man, and Roy DeWalt has to hold the ball because the secondary is doing a good job in coverage.
Loss back to the BC 50, and Pasaglia will be in to punt.
Third and 17.
He is going to run. Now he's going to throw, and the pass is dropped. They'll call that an incomplete pass, and another BC turnover. He threw it to Rob Moreno, who obviously had to make sure that he caught the ball. He did everything he could to slow his progress, come back for the ball, but still dropped it.
Well, Lou Pasaglia has done this many times. He can see what's going on in the punt return team. If they're peeling off the blocks and running downfield, he's got the ability to throw or run the ball, but I don't think he's even sure. That wind can play a part when you throw the ball downfield, and I think it hurt Pasaglia.
Now the Riders have 50 yards to go for a touchdown, and they'll try in the last minute and 15 seconds to add to their lead. Central's first down pass incomplete.
John Gregory told us that so many things have gone against the Riders this year. It's time for some good things to start to happen. Maybe this is his day.
Bentrim on 2nd and 10. He was looking one way, now the other down the sidelines, and the pass is incomplete. McDonald going up in the air. Conrad was in the area as well. Hello to you in Salmon Arm.
Jeff Bentrim hasn't been as accurate throwing the ball downfield as I'm sure he wants him to, but he hasn't been throwing the ball in the areas where there's lots of defenders. Seems like a bit of a miscommunication the last time, 2 receivers in the same area.
So 2 incomplete passes, doesn't take much time off the clock. Lions watch that ball bounce out of bounds at the 25. There's still a minute left for BC to try to cut into this lead of 23-8.
And they have the ability and the personnel to be able to use this minute that's left and cut into that lead with Sandusky and Byron K. Williams on the outside.
Flag comes down, perhaps holding as Ray Krause takes the ball to the 33.
BC number 61.
61 is Dan Hurley, and the ball comes back, so it's been that kind of first half for the Lions. Saskatchewan must win this game just to stay 5 points back of Calgary. The Stampeders have already won today, 33-17 in Hamilton. We'll have highlights for you at halftime of that game. And almost another interception, and it could be a touchdown the other way. Parker being chased by Skipper, who catch up and get him down, and Franco Harris ought to watch this. This is one of those immaculate receptions. And John Gregory doesn't know whether to laugh or cry.
Now you should pull that hat down further over the eyes because this is an incredible play. The defense plays it well. It's just a dump pass over top, a screen. You see the lineman out in front. Eddie Lowe's there and almost has himself an interception, and it just bounces off Lowe's chest back into Parker's hands. And here's some hustle. Bobby Jurison chasing from behind. Skipper comes from the outside.
76 yards after it's over, and talk about a break. DeWalt to the end zone, and is overthrown and intercepted. 5th BC turnover, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders prevent any further scoring.
David Sadu playing the center field. And I think that's the problem when you're throwing with the wind. Sometimes it will carry the ball. Roy DeWalt tries to feather this ball in the end zone and really drop it down into an area. But that wind will carry it and push it that much further. DeWalt gets an opportunity to set up this time, but still, he's still backing up. More pressure from Matson.
Now all the Riders want to do is let the clock run. Jeff Bentrim taking the ball and going down with 28 seconds to go. The CFL keeps what it calls a giveaway-takeaway ratio. Takeaways to giveaways, and the BC Lions led the league with a plus 27 in that regard. Total of 50 takeaways and only 23 giveaways. And here today, timeout after the play, fine Don. But 5 turnovers today for the BC Lions have been an important factor.
Jeff Bentrim, the quarterback from
I think it's safe to say they haven't had 5 in 30 minutes of football this season.
Now they're at the other end of the stick right now. And Matthews sees an opportunity where they can possibly get some points. Force Baker to punt into the wind. They're looking at Dave Sidhu's statistics. He's been backing up most of the year, and he has 5 interceptions. Well, I'll tell you, he makes good when he gets the opportunity to play.
Terry Baker wants instructions. They might ask him to run around and take most or all of the time off the clock before he punts the ball, because if he just line drives a punt and the Lions could get it out of bounds, they would very likely have a chance at a field goal. Who's back there for BC? Is that Pasaglia by any chance? Louis Pasaglia is in a punt returning position. This is Louis. Now watch him kick it back. That doesn't count. There may be a sport in which that's a fine play, but this isn't it. We've seen a little bit of everything today. Anthony Parker's 76-yard run with Roy DeWalt's pass that bounced off Eddie Lowe's arm might have been as exciting as you'd get. And as unexpected, but
no yards, BC.
Some of the things we've seen are downright nutty here. Not much hang time on that ball. Satelli figures, well, what? Take it in for 6. Might not count, but it's still, we'll go in my book.
Satelli, he probably complaining that Saskatchewan didn't give him yards. Anyway, this is the last play of the first half, and it will be a rather uneventful one compared to what we've seen in the last couple of minutes. The score will raise some eyebrows. At the time, it is Saskatchewan 23 and BC 8.
Hey, how are you? Sorry that I'm not at home. But when I get the message on my telephone, you'll be the first one on my list.
Crazy Calls, a tape of 7 different songs and funny recordings for answering machines.
I am very sorry that I'm not at home to take your call.
Only $14.95.
When I will get right back to you. Leave your message at the tone.
Give someone the gift of gab for their answering machine.
Calling a friend. What you've actually done is bought a one-way ticket to the answering machine zone.
Nobody's home. Nobody's home.
I'm glad you called, but I'm not home. But I'll be back before too long. You gotta
Crazy Calls, a tape of 7 different songs and funny recordings for only $14.95.
wait for the beat. You gotta leave your name. You gotta leave your number.
To order?
Wait for the beat.
Call 1-800-331-1900. Call 1-800-331-1900.
Saturday, Nebraska shows its high-ranking form in a showdown with South Carolina. Then Kerwin Bell leads Florida against the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Live Saturday on ESPN.
Due to time considerations, we must now move ahead in our coverage of the Canadian Football League game you're watching. In the third quarter, Saskatchewan increased their lead to 35-11 by way of 4 David Ridgway field goals. Let's return now to Regina, Saskatchewan, where the final quarter is just underway.
13:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Is it too early for Saskatchewan to start protecting the lead by running the ball more than they might otherwise?
I think you should never protect the lead. I think you should continue to be aggressive on offense. Try to get the ball downfield and get more points. And hang on to the ball.
Running plays aren't always safe, as was demonstrated there. Bentram gets the ball back.
Seems like they're trying to take advantage of a quick hitter. The play to Bender has been very successful. A deep handoff. This time they try to slide it in quickly to the fullback, get themselves a seam, but it has to be the proper coordination between the running back and the quarterback.
Well, they gained a yard with that fumble and recovery. Bentram to pass, it's batted down.
Pass is knocked down by 74, Elvis Attil.
That's tough to do.
The middle linebacker, got over with a big hand and knock it away.
That's very difficult to do. I'm sure John Gregory knows when you coach defensive linemen to get their hands up in the air just at the right time when the quarterback delivers. That's frustrating for a coach and a quarterback.
because of the wind, have 3 punt returners. Normally, they would only have 1 back there, and Baker hangs a pretty nice kick up in the air, and it bounces right away from Sandusky, who misplayed the ball and didn't get any break when it hit the ground.
Well, one way to punt into the wind is to catch a good spiral and try to make the ball turn over, and that's difficult into a strong wind like this, but Baker has done a good job of keeping it hits the ground.
Less than 12 minutes to go. The Lions are down by 24 points with the ball at their 34. Avra threw a 1-bouncer to Sandusky.
I don't know if those are the types of plays that are going to get the Lions back in the football game. Even with guys like Sandusky and Williams who can turn a quick hitch pass like that into a big play, I think you have to start going downfield and maybe trying to exploit the injury to Norris Gibbs with Sadu in the middle and Suter playing the halfback spot.
Well, Byron Williams' speed would probably be something you'd want to use, but they just don't seem to be looking to him anymore. Williams now catches this one and is bumped out of bounds short of the first down. Avra running and scrambling and finding Byron Williams, who came back for the ball, but it is short. Louis Pasaglia has not punted with the wind yet, and I'm not sure he's going to here. 24-point lead for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. If they faked earlier, they might try something here. Only 1 man back for the Riders. He will kick it. And because only 1 man was back, it's a long chase for Fuller, who probably wants it to go in the end zone. That's the wise move now, give up the single and come out and get some field position. So it's a long single on a punt by Pasaglia, but the Lions still trail by plenty.
Don't just ask for a light beer. Give me light. Ask them to bring out their best. Bud Light. Bud Light. The less filling light beer with the first name and taste.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh. Buy your friend a beer.
No one really knows how your skin got sensitive. But if it is, try the shave cream with more advanced lubricants than any other. Gillette Foamy for sensitive skin.
Today's world. It's elegant, sparkling evenings and spirited play. It's arriving in style in a way that sets you apart. And no matter where you're going or who you're going with, the one magazine that keeps pace with today's more exciting world is, of course, Playboy. Playboy, the magazine that offers more for the man who has more to offer. Playboy will surprise you, wow you, and keep you informed. It brings you the great authors and brilliant writing. And of course, nobody has a better eye for beauty than Playboy. Right now, Playboy even offers you something special. Terrific savings on a full year of Playboy. Now you can get 12 big, beautiful issues for only $19. That's 56% off the newsstand price. So if today's lifestyle is your lifestyle, make Playboy your magazine. Playboy offers more for the man who has more to offer.
To order your Playboy subscription, phone toll-free 1-800-932-3600 and get 12 issues for only $19. And you can use your credit card. So phone 1-800-932-3600. Call today.
10:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Saskatchewan leading 35-12. Dave Ridgway has kicked 7 field goals. He's been perfect, 7 for 7. To account for the bulk of the Saskatchewan scoring. Clock moving now as Bentram on first down throws a pass to Conrad. He makes the catch. Taken out of bounds with a first down.
It's a lot easier to kick with that gale behind you than it is into the wind. You can see he's Got a couple pretty good ones, 41 and 31 yards, but that 14-yarder's got to hurt. That just gives up field position. That's what it comes down to.
184-yard kick gives them a single and brings the average up. From the 47, Saskatchewan first down, and they give it to Bender. Swings outside where there is no room, and he goes out of bounds. Here's a look at Terry Baker's punting now.
He's had a little bit more success into the wind, at least consistency-wise. 39, 38. With the wind, he hasn't been that effective, but that 42-yard punt didn't hurt them when he was punting with the wind.
Second and long, Riders from their 43. Bentram is chased. On the run, he throws a nice pass. Tony Dennis on the receiving end. It is not Dennis, but rather Don Narcisse for a first down.
Well, it's good to see the receiver helping out his quarterback. Bentram's on the run, and Narcisse has to come over so he can get in the eye of Bentram. Bentram couldn't see him if he's behind the play. So Narcisse changed the direction, and now you can see him just coming across the field. Good pass and a good play. And the Lions have made some changes on defense, too. Todd Wiseman is playing safety. Nelson Martin is at the halfback spot. Larry Crawford is out.
Bentram quarterback draw. Flag goes down.
Jeff Bentram takes the ball.
Holding Saskatchewan number 66.
Penalty against Mike Anderson.
Hooking onto the toaster a little bit. He had it positioned. The toaster jumped to the outside. That's right where he wanted him to go on a quarterback draw. Said that big right arm hung on a little bit too long.
So the penalty moves Saskatchewan back to the BC 52-yard line. First and 20.
With the penalty, it'll be down over first and 20. On the BC 52.
And off to Bender. He goes to the 40.
Walter Bender carrying the ball.
Met by Satelli in the middle. The flow of the defense is doing a good job of closing that running play down. That's been successful for them today, but the offensive line, led by veteran Aldag, is still giving Bender enough room to get upfield for a few yards.
4-yard gain on the 20. Second down, 16.
Second and 16 as that clock moves toward 8 minutes. Saskatchewan's lead is a big one. 23 points. Benson to throw on second down. He pumps once. Now he will take his loss back at midfield.
With the ball.
8:01 to go, and Saskatchewan will punt the ball into the wind.
Walter Ballard and Satelli from the middle in hot pursuit. Bentram doesn't get comfortable. He gets one read. He's only getting a chance to look at one receiver, and then he's getting flushed. Boy, Walter Ballard's a quick man.
Last time Baker punted, the Lions had 3 receivers back. This time just 1, and so they're going to try to block this without any doubt. Off the side of Baker's foot, out of bounds. 7:41 remaining, and the Riders are apparent.
Why do you invest with Charles Schwab, America's largest discount broker?
The service is very good at Schwab, and my commission savings over several years have been substantial. Very substantial.
When I invest with Schwab, I'm only paying half the...
For centuries, the Japanese have enjoyed the benefits of acupressure or shiatsu massage. It relieves tension, stress, and pain. And now, for the very first time, technicians at Panasonic have created a mechanism and installed it in a reclining lounger that actually recreates acupressure or shiatsu massage from the neck to the lower back. You must experience this lounger to believe the benefits. Stop by our booth in the commercial building at the Central Washington State Fair or call 452-3939 for more information.
Hahn Chrysler Plymouth announces a special extension of the beach party. Purchase the new Chrysler Plymouth of your choice and enjoy 8 days, 7 nights in Hawaii. Airfare and accommodations included. Or purchase the used car of your choice and enjoy 4 days and 3 nights in Hawaii, accommodations only. Big savings on every car in stock, as well as 1.9 annual percentage rate financing or up to $750 cash back on select models during the beach party at Hahn Chrysler Plymouth. Sale ends Saturday.
Vavra throws incomplete. Flags come down.
Flag on the play.
Roughing the passer, Saskatchewan number 78. First down.
Well, most people don't agree with that call. Greg Vavra is running for his life. First he tries to escape to the right side, then he spins around, and he actually puts some pretty good moves on defensive players and allows the clock to keep ticking, keeps the play alive, but he delivers the ball. And that's right after the ball was delivered. It's a pretty good shot to the upper part of the body.
I don't know that it was late so much as it was
to the head, maybe. That would have been a better call.
That pass is incomplete, too low.
Well, the Riders are continuing to be aggressive in style as they have been all game. Last play was a first down situation. Suter blitzes from his halfback spot. They really are just rolling the dice and going with it because they've got things going for them today.
Well, every BC play is going to be a pass for the rest of this game, and the Riders know that. Under 7 minutes to play. Vavra was almost picked off. It's been a nightmarish day for Roy DeWalt in that regard, but two Riders had a shot at that Vavra pass as they went to Byron Williams.
Well, I'm not sure who had the opportunity to pick the ball off, but I know both of them knocked each other away from having that opportunity. Vavra he's going right, he's looking right all the way, and then snaps around, and he had to wait to throw the football. Williams wasn't where he wanted to be, and it looked like Sadu had a good chance to pick that one off.
It's third down, and the Lions have decided there's no point punting. Vavra throws it up in the air, and it is intercepted this time by David Sadu. Looking for blockers now. It's the second interception of the day. He came in after the injury to Norris Gibbs, and he does make the most of his chances to play.
Well, before the ball snaps, Sadu's at safety. He backs straight out. He's going to play center field on this. 9 turnovers.
And away from the play, the Lions were involved with James Curry, obviously a reaction to the hit on Vavra. Nothing more happened there, and here's what happened here.
Well, Sadu stays in bounds here, but you see Williams trailing. He's going to slow down and just figure he's out of the play. Bingo. This is what they don't need. Another defensive back going down. Jammed wrist.
Bender on the handoff from Bentram as that clock changes again. Less than 6 minutes to go. Here's the James Curry incident.
Just a simple pull, but I think it's John Blaine. Tempers are starting to flare. The Lions aren't used to being in this situation, and tempers will be hot.
Bentram fired it incomplete and out of bounds. It does stop the clock with 5:26 to go as the Riders will go in and punt the ball. And Neil, I really think that in situations like this for the rest, I mean, BC will never run again, and I'm not sure Saskatchewan should ever pass again.
Well, Bentram hasn't had a lot of luck. The luck he has had is going over the middle, trying to string the ball into an area in the middle. And as like you said, run the football. Keep that clock running.
Nice punt into the wind by Baker. Actually, the wind isn't blowing very hard right now. Certainly not compared to its stiffest earlier in the day. And Baker took advantage of that. So John Gregory, who said, couldn't we have just a little bit of the right kind of luck once in a while, may be getting it today.
Well, not only is he getting the luck, but I think Joe Fuller showed us earlier on when Pasaglia kicked that punt deep, he let the ball go into the end zone. Fuller didn't become anxious, didn't try to make a big play and return it. Use your head down in the end zone, get yourself good field position. That's a maturing process, and maybe now it's starting to come around.
Sadu is in there, so the secondary remains intact. There's a flag down on this play and some shoving with Byron Williams on the sideline. Rod Fisher of Saskatchewan is there. The Saskatchewan bench reacted very negatively to the flag.
Well, Mike Samples came out quickly and grabbed Fisher and said, that's enough. We don't need to give this game away and give them opportunities. Let's keep your head.
Interference. Saskatchewan number 38. First down.
Steve Crane was called. The Riders and their fans felt that he hit the receiver as the ball did. It is a first down, BC at the 41. Favre throws, catch is made. John Pancratch has been as effective an offensive player as anybody.
James Curry still coming hard. He's one of the best of the inside tackles around the league. Gets a good jump and a nice move there, but he's not going to be stopped.
First 10 at BC 53.
And again, he came in rather high. Receiver Parker turned one way and Favre threw it behind him.
I think if anything, that's the one thing you have to discourage. People going for players' heads, especially quarterbacks. They are the most vulnerable. Their heads and bodies are turned throwing the football. A good hit's a good hit. There's nothing wrong with putting a man on the turf, but stay away from the head.
Less than 4 minutes to go. Lions at the 53-yard line, and BC still trying to get something to click on offense. Favre is down, the ball is loose, and Saskatchewan has recovered for the 10th turnover of the game.
Glenn Suter comes up with the football, but I think it's pressured by linebacker Steve Crane, number 38. He's going to come in from the outside. Right there, the ball comes loose. And again, Suter, like an aggressive halfback, is blitzing and right there to jump on the ball.
Well, I think we'll take a chance and say that Saskatchewan has won this game. 23-point lead with 3.5 minutes left. And it ranks with the big upsets of this season. Walter Bender running near the 43-yard line. He'll be 4 yards short of the first down there. Dave Ridgway, 7 field goal attempts and 7 successful kicks. Has certainly been the scoring star for Saskatchewan. Otherwise, the Riders' defense has ruled the day.
They certainly have. I think of John Gregory telling us today that many times he'd sit in his office and wonder why they haven't won more football games. We have the talent, we should start to win, and maybe today they started.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times. Then one day, you got the call. What's this, rookie umpire? Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Compliments of that gentleman.
This ball's for you.
If you're looking for good ideas on personal finance, subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Because while there's plenty of money around, unfortunately, it doesn't come with instructions.
Call 800-372-3000 for this special introductory offer.
13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-372-3000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
ESPN delivers live championship sports action Sunday. Driver of the Year candidate Dale Earnhardt races toward another record-setting win at the Holly Farms 400. Then the biggest event in seniors golf. Arnold Palmer and Gary Player headline the $1 Million Vantage Championship live. Top 3-year-old thoroughbreds run for Horse of the Year votes at the Pennsylvania Derby. And NFL Primetime delivers highlights from every single game. Championship action Sunday on ESPN.
There you see the time remaining and the score, and it's 2nd and 4 for Saskatchewan from the BC 43-yard line. Let's see if the Riders keep the ball on the ground. They do, and Bender will come.
Number 32, Walter Bender.
Well, they're making the right decisions now, giving the ball to Bender. He's hot. The offensive line's coming off and controlling the line of scrimmage.
It's third down.
You might as well stick with it.
223 yards in total offense. Obviously, you don't always get 35 points for that kind of yardage, but when 10 turnovers are added,
Third and about a foot.
it really helps. And BC has been a pass team all day and nothing along the ground. Take 2 big plays away from the BC passing total, and it doesn't look very good. On third down, the Riders
Walter Bender
gamble and get it with Bender. So it's just a matter of running out the clock now for Saskatchewan and BC. The Lions chalk this one up to goodness knows what. Another road loss after a hectic week at home.
I'm sure a lot of people will be asking the question, did the problems, as everyone has discussed in the last 2 weeks, affected the play of the football team today? I don't know how you answer that question as a football player. You'd like to think you can put it behind you. Maybe they just got beaten by a better football team today.
Saskatchewan sounds too much like an excuse if they say it, but it may well be a legitimate excuse. To be in Vancouver the past week and to actually try to follow all of the crazy things that have been going on has been aggravating for somebody who wasn't involved. I can't imagine what it's like for a player who's supposed to be practicing and getting ready for a game. It's just simply been on again, off again, 10% pay cut, yes, no, maybe, meeting. Should we, shouldn't we? Whose fault is it? Why did communications break down? How is it that Edmonton held a press conference to do the same thing and now nobody remembers that? And BC, which hasn't yet gathered the press together formally, is the team that is known as the pay-cutting team in the CFL. Something went wrong. And after all is said and done, the pay wasn't cut. Benson throws for all his might, and it's incomplete in the corner of the end zone.
Well, you know, surrounding the problems, many coaches like to protect their players. It's instinctive. You try to keep them away from all the hassle that goes on off the field, because their responsibility is to get first downs, win games, and make tackles. And I think once the players were involved, the distraction was there. They formed a committee. They felt as players they had to step in. You have to give them credit for that, but at the same time, it makes it very tough on Don Matthews.
That wind is still blowing, and so Ridgway will not have a chance at his 8th field goal. Maybe another way to look at it is that they're keeping him out of a situation that might destroy his perfect record. Ball is out of bounds. I think, though, too much talk about what has happened in Vancouver this week and what has happened today to the Lions is unfair to Saskatchewan, particularly to the Riders' defense. I mean, it was no fluke that the Riders played hard up front with those 4 important linemen. They played a good game, and the ball hawks in the secondary from Saskatchewan took advantage of what was there, plenty of interceptions. So this has been Saskatchewan's most confident, most aggressive game that I've seen this year, and I don't know whether BC would have won anyway. They have been roundly outplayed. I mean, it hasn't.
Well, I've seen
a few plays here and there.
I've seen a lot of the Saskatchewan defense this year, and only in a couple of occasions would I say that there wasn't the intensity and the aggressiveness shown. I mean, tonight it was even better. But well, they're a good group of football players.
Vavra on the run, picks out a receiver, and a pretty good move after the catch by Pankratz, who his statistics aren't going to look bad today. John Pankratz has caught more passes than he expects to get. Caught 6 of them. A minute 10 left, and it's 35-12 for the last place Saskatchewan Roughriders over the co-leaders in the West, the BC Lions. And I guess it's about time to say that there will be some people in Edmonton mighty pleased at what's happened today.
Well, I'd say so. Don Matthews mentioned today that this was their opportunity. They had a game in hand coming into this game, and this would have put them 2 points ahead if they could have come away with a win.
Byron Williams hauls one in from Vavra at the 22-yard line of Saskatchewan with 49 seconds left.
Vavra just trying to let it loose, get somebody deep. Let's get some points, even though we're not going to win the football game. Let's make it respectable, and it's just Williams has been silent today.
44 yards from Vavra to Byron Williams. Again, Vavra throws it long, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. Jim Sandusky on the far side beats his man, and the Lions have a score that makes the scoreboard look a bit less embarrassing. 22 yards from Vavra to Jim Sandusky. It adds to Sandusky's totals, which have been great all season long, of course.
Well, as a defense, you never like to give up points, whether it's in the last 43 seconds or at the start of a football game. They've played too well when it comes down to the final seconds to give anything up. And that can be frustrating. Of course, there's going to be some big smiles on the Riders' faces after the game, but want to keep them out of the end zone.
Sandusky's second touchdown reception of the day, and Pasaglia adds the extra point. 35-19 with less than a minute to go.
Don Matthews is the winningest coach for the BC Lions in their history. He's 56 wins. He's done it in 4.5 years. He surpassed Vic Rapp with 53. Took Vic Rapp 6 years to do it. So there's no question Don Matthews has the ability and the players to keep winning. But it wasn't to be this afternoon.
If Saskatchewan is to have a chance at making the playoffs, next week's game at Calgary is a vital one to win. Saskatchewan will be 5 points back of the Stampeders with a game in hand entering that contest at McMahon Stadium. I think you can write off Saskatchewan if they lose, but it becomes a playoff race if they win.
Well, put this one behind you, Don Matthews.
Well, I don't think he's about to go into the dressing room and speak loudly or criticize anybody. He very definitely said his pay was being cut too, and if you want to put me on anybody's side in this mess, I'm with the players. They know that, and he wasn't attempting to hide it from anybody else, so this is a game they will all try to forget. The Riders were all up close to the kickoff, figuring that the Lions would boot it short. They kicked it long, and Joe Fuller finally got back there.
Probably put on the shelf, might even not even watch the game film. I think the Riders are going to work from this game. They've found out some things. Maybe some individuals have come to the top and are now performing better. John Gregory won't be throwing those headphones down. I think they've just come a long way, and it's good to see them come out with a victory. It's been tough on a head coach who felt, as we said earlier, he should have had more wins going into this game. But they can build and work from this one.
A single point is awarded to BC on the kickoff. 35-20 now. And Bentram is just going to run out the remaining seconds on the clock. 20 are showing on the scoreboard.
As far as John Gregory's concerned, he's in Hawaii right now, standing on the beach. He couldn't feel any better.
As the time ticks away, The Saskatchewan Roughriders officially record an upset victory over the BC Lions, and John Gregory shows his enthusiasm. The fans got wet, but they don't mind, with Saskatchewan beating the BC Lions by 15 points. 35-20 is the final score in favor of the Green Riders.
Well, the players will be coming across. You see the smile on Don Matthews' face. It's just one of those things that are going to happen. He understands that. He's been around enough to know that your team can't be on game in and game out, but you look for that consistency, and it wasn't there today. He'll go back and rebuild, start to work for the game. This one's behind him now.
Hey, I didn't know this. Atlanta's talking trade again.
Hey, did you see who just walked out of camp?
Yeah, what about all these high-salaried guys on the DL?
For my money, the Sporting News is...
7 nights in Hawaii, airfare and accommodations included. Or purchase the used car of your choice and enjoy 4 days and 3 nights in Hawaii, accommodations only. Big savings on every car in stock, as well as 1.9 annual percentage rate financing or up to $750 cash back on select models during the beach party at Han Chrysler Plymouth. Sale ends Saturday.
When you've been involved in a personal injury, the insurance company asks you to walk alone. It's at these times that you should seek the advice of a lawyer, a person who is on your side, looking after your needs. At Abeta & Nelson, we're experts in personal injury cases. There's no charge to discuss your case and no fee unless we recover for you. If you've been seriously injured, don't walk alone. Call us at Abeta & Nelson, the firm that gets results.
Quick skates. And quick thinking to play one of the fastest games on 2 feet. The excitement is fast and furious when the NHL plays. Live on ESPN.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders had the win to start this game, and they decided to take full advantage of it. With a 3-0 lead from punt formation, Terry Cochran, the former UBC Thunderbird, ran 48 yards down to the 2-yard line of the BC Lions. From there, Walter Bender went in, and Saskatchewan was on its way to a 35-20 victory. I think another big play would probably be the Glenn Suter interception in return for a touchdown. The game was still pretty close, but that really did break it open, and BC wasn't in it after that.
I think it set the tempo. I think all day Regina showed that they were going to be tough. They kept coming after them. I don't think on offense they were as successful as they wanted to be throwing the football. Bender ran the ball extremely well. Up front, the offensive line controlled a very aggressive defensive line. That was the key on offense, but defense, they kept coming and coming, and the big plays.
Jeff Bentram's stats won't look too good, but he was a winning quarterback today, and I guess that means more than anything else. You see there that he only completed 8 passes, and the net yardage for the Saskatchewan Roughriders was 173, but look down at the bottom there.
I'll tell you, 10 turnovers. It doesn't have to be pretty to get the 2 points. On offense, Bentram will come away. He will have learned something again. I'm sure Gregory knows, intelligent young man, he's going to continue to get better and better every game. That's all he's asking for from Bentram. The defense keeps playing at the aggressive, almost out-of-hand style that they are right now. They will win some more football games.
Yeah, you saw 2 and 3 Saskatchewan tacklers at the ball all day long, and there were very few tackles made by just one player. Now, the BC Lions, as we've said, will put this game behind them, and there'll be a lot of talk about what has gone on this week. The thing is, you can only say that once. I mean, if they've lost a game because of what happened in meetings, it only is valid to say that once, and they've got to go on and play another game against a good team next week at Toronto. The Lions have obviously opened the door for Edmonton now in that first-place race.
Yes, they have, and they're going to have their hands full next week against Toronto. I say throw the game film out of this one. Let's go on to the next football game.
Yeah, they didn't look too unhappy on the sidelines. The Lions wanting to get home and starting over. The Edmonton Eskimos will host the Ottawa Roughriders on Friday, and that's our next Canadian Football Network game from Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Today from Taylor Field, Regina, Saskatchewan beat BC. This game is protected by copyright and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Football Network and the CFL is strictly prohibited. ESPN, the
the world leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World.
Anything else you can tell me about yesterday?
No. At this point, I'm not sure if she's involved in the murder or not. We don't have any evidence that she was having a relationship with the victim. But regardless, we have enough to charge both suspects.
Yeah. Then, Andrew Mara tells Detective Cadwell he wants to make another statement.
Is there any way, I was still waiting to see if I could smoke a cigarette.
Just hold off on everything till we get back here and me